So hello everyone. Hey. Yeah. So we have one more person. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Shukmar.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. So we usually will be starting this in like around 1 minute. I'm not sure where you're located, so we start at 6 p.m. like Germany, France time.
Yeah, I'm currently in Hyderabad.
Okay.
I'm logged in from Hyderabad.
So around 9:30 p.m. there, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, great. So while we wait for some others to join, a quick little introduction is that we do not have as such any real agenda. So if you have, I don't know if you had a chance to look at some of the earlier recordings of these sessions, but we just randomly picked out a data set from Kaggle, and we first started off with just a Python challenge. So as such, there is no real agenda. One, there's like, I would encourage whoever who would like to participate to bring either their own problems or something that they wish to solve, or you could just join in to the solution that we are currently working on, and feel free to participate in the debates. There is like, as I said, there is nothing that this is somebody's problem. If, however, you do bring a solution on, then the solution is open for debate with everyone. So if you have anything, feel free to say that this is something you would like to join and solve. Hello, we have one more joining.
Yeah, so this is, okay, this is my first session that I'm really joining. I don't have any background of, I have not really looked at the previous videos. So sorry for that, for joining. So in brief, this data set is from, so which, say, domain, and what is the problem statement there?
Okay, so in short, the data set that we picked out is like this hotel booking demand data set in Kaggle. And it is basically just this data set where I think a few hotels somewhere in Europe, maybe Portugal, who have just scraped their data and given it to us and uploaded it. So we are just kind of playing around with it. Just idea is to get more familiar with data analysis, to use Python tools and pandas, and also learn how to do exploratory data analysis.
Got it.
I have put the link to that hotel booking data set on Kaggle on the chat.
Yeah. So this is it.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Okay, great. So welcome to everyone else as well. If anyone else has anything, or if it's your first time and you have any questions, please do feel free to ask.
So to understand, we'll take a data set and we'll start really getting into we'll take a data set, we'll start really exploring the various features in this, or maybe do the feature selection and then try to really come up with some kind of suggestion or solution.
And also, as I said, this does not have to be something that there has to be only one data set that we are solving. So it can be several people coming up with little things that they need help with. So as I said, for us to have some at least initial pointers, we picked out one. But in the previous, I think we sort of lost that person, but there was one other person who came with another problem he had with respect to electrical engineering, and we were even working on that. So really speaking, you can just bring anything that you would like to do and just try to figure out how to use Python to solve it. So there is no agenda as such. If you, for example, I'm not sure what your domain is, but if in your domain you have something that you want to use Python in, you can just say, okay, I want to do this, and we could try to work on it.
Yeah, actually, I'm in the EV area.
In which area?
Uh,
I think I lost you.
yeah, sorry. I'm in this electric vehicles area.
Oh, okay, very nice. Okay.
Okay, just as a background, I'm not a programmer. By say, I left programming some 13 years ago. And I am a big fan of your power electronics simulator. And so now I thought of really getting into the kind of a discussions about this. There was an idea which I wanted to discuss with you about this in the electrical domain. Maybe whether we can really take it at the end of the session instead of spending the whole time there, or maybe we can start all the activities or the agenda what we have now on this particular data set. We can continue, and at the end maybe I can just put out one thought what I had.
Yeah, sure.
To data augmentation.
Sure, we can do that.
Implementation of this data augmentation in some kind of load prediction and other things when you don't have the vehicle and everything with you, and how can you use a simulator there?
Okay, sure, we can do that.
So that maybe at the end of the session we can look at that.
Yeah.
And we can get started with whatever we have, whatever we want to touch in this week.
Yeah, sure, that sounds good. Okay, so I guess if anybody else has anything, otherwise, as always, I would invite anyone to just share your screen. I believe Krishnan has created a Kaggle group, and I believe a few of you might be invited to it. Those who are not, you can just post your, I think if you have a Kaggle account, you can post your Kaggle account here and he can just add you to it.
I'm not sure if I created a group, but there was a notebook onto which I shared it with some people.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I can create a group. It's been a while. I forgot.
No, I mean you can just add the same people, or you can continue for now, and maybe towards the end you can add however you wish to.
Yeah.
So let's just, maybe since it's already time, we can just start a little.
Yeah. Shiva, last time we said we probably go for another type of data set.
Yeah. So like I said, like I say again, and I reiterate, this is completely open. So feel free. I do not want this to become like a teaching session. I don't want this to be me teaching everyone, because that's not what this is. This is more of a kind of group discussion session where everyone joins in, you come up with your own solutions, your own problems. Main idea is to use Python for what you do in your daily life. That's the idea. That's the main goal behind these sessions. So we can always go and just explore another data set. Again, I would just invite anyone to start sharing a screen and have a look, because I would like it that maybe one of you do it rather than me do it. So if anybody else would like to take the lead instead of Krishnan doing it all the time, that would be nice.
Yeah, I tried on a different data set. I just started it today. So I did some small operation on a data set which belongs to Google Play Store information type data. So which app is rating higher, or the installation process. So I did a little work on that. So can I share that?
Yeah, sure, you can.
Yeah, so I did some operation on this data set. So should I go to the Kaggle platform?
Yeah, sure. You can just show us at least the data set that people can sort of download for themselves.
Okay. So, yeah, I just something. So, yeah. There is some problem. Okay, so yeah, that's the data set I'm working on.
Okay, so it's just Google Play apps.
Okay, so if I go for the
Let me just also
Play
open.
Store app, so here I can get some data about the category and rating of this app and some other information. Yeah, it's a really small data actually. So as I was trying it for the first time, so I decided to work on a small data set.
Okay.
So if I go to the Jupyter notebook, then I did the query df.info, so I get this data from here.
Okay, so we have app. Okay, so it's around 10,000 and 40, around 10,000. Oh no, 11,000, almost 11,000 rows, you could say.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And 13 columns are here. So if we go for this, and
okay, so let's.
I did it with the head thing.
Okay. All right. Okay. This is good. What is good is well, the only one problem which I see here is there is not much of numerical data, but I guess we could work around it for now. That's okay. So we can continue. And okay, go ahead. Tell me what else you have done. And I also invite others to sort of come in with their own thoughts and challenges.
So I tried a little thing. I just made a new data frame with only 3 columns: app, rating, and install. So I just did it, and I tried to sort this according to the rating in descending order.
Okay.
So, and I was trying something. I tried to fill the NaN values with value 0.0, but I think it didn't work properly. As I did this, after the sorting, I got this table with NaN values.
Okay, so first thing, if you notice, if you go into fill NA, and if you go into that thing and do shift tab will give you the help.
Actually, I was having some problems. Whenever I'm tapping the tab, I am not able to get any option over here. So
I think that sometimes it has to do with your Chrome. If you have too many notebooks open, try to close those which you're not using, because maybe it is not having enough memory.
Okay.
Sometimes when you have like 4 or 5 Jupyter notebooks open at the same time, you press tab, you will not get it, because it has some memory issues. Okay.
I got it. Yeah, I will try later.
So now if you look, if you click on the plus and you expand it, now you see there, you will see the arguments. There is value, method, access, and in place. Now in place is equal to false means that it will not change the data frame by default. It will return another data frame.
Yes.
So which is why, even though if you assign another data frame, you will see that the values have been there. But if you want it to reflect, you have to say in place is equal to true.
Okay. Okay. Maybe I did something wrong.
No, I mean, what is happening? Is there a warning or is there an error?
It's an warning.
Oh, that's okay. I think it is just sort of saying that you are rather overwriting something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's working.
Mhm.
Yeah, then it will solve. I was trying to do another thing. I wanted to make a bar chart. So I tried to do with it app column and rating column. So I wanted to make the chart for a little portion of the data. So I tried to copy 10 rows of data to another variable, but I couldn't do it. And I didn't have any time to Google it, so I left it out.
Okay. Head.
Yeah, I was trying to copy 10 rows from the actual data set to one new data frame.
Okay, so I'm seeing here x is equal to new df app. Okay, so it is saying x is not defined. Now, why is that so? Okay, can you remove, just remove head. If you remove dot head 10 and try it again and try x. Yeah, now you get x. So basically it is saying it is not able to extract the first 10. Now, okay, I get what is happening. See, the problem is that this is actually a series. Now, what I would suggest is enclose the app string in another square brackets. So that way you are now casting it as a data frame explicitly. So put double thing and try now executing it again. No, I mean, you don't put head yet, and just I just want to see if it becomes a data frame. It should become a data frame. And try X again. Yeah, so now it is a data frame. So now put dot head 10 again and check again. I mean, this is after at the very end. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, I think dot head only works on a data frame and not on a series. In the previous case, you had only a series. That is why it was not working.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now I got it.
So you can put 10 again. I think you wanted 10, so you can give the 10 argument inside head. No, I mean, you can actually, in the above one, in number 60, you can just put 10 and that's it. Because I think you wanted the top 10, right?
Correct.
Right. So now you have got the top 10 apps, but now you want to do a bar rating.
Yeah.
Now there's one problem if you notice, if you just check out before line 62, if you check out the data frame, you see that the rating of the first one, that is at 10472, that is 19.
Yeah.
You see, this is a case of, this is a case of bad data.
Yeah.
So now the first thing is what we need to do is you need to clean data. So for example, what we can do is you have to delete any row where you see the rating which is greater than 0 or greater than 5 or less than 0. So one thing you can do first we can look at is, okay, just before I've been talking for a while, does anyone have any doubts or suggestions or anything else? Just bringing others in at the same time.
Actually, I tried to edit the data. I tried to edit the 19 value to another value, but I was having some issues. I wouldn't able to. Actually, I'm from C++ background, so I tried to do it as I did with 2D arrays, but I had some error with this thing.
No, you can tell me what it is and I'll tell you how to solve it. That's okay. If you still have that command, you can show me, otherwise.
No, I just maybe I just lost that line, so I don't have that right now. What I just tried I tried to do a if condition. I got some error.
Okay, so the first thing is, what I would say is, first we can have a look at how you want to write a query. So would you like to know how to write a query? So what I would say is like this. See, for example, if you say the new df and you put in square brackets the rating, you will get that column.
Yeah.
So you can just try that.
Should I assign it to another variable or?
No, that's okay. First we can just, first I want to just show you the idea of how you extract and write a query. So again, here you can put it in just one single bracket, no need for double bracket.
Okay, so.
So you see, again, you can delete the head 10.
Okay.
Now, this has given you, you see all the ratings. There is basically it's a series. Now, supposing here to this, you say greater than 5.0.
Yeah.
So after the new df, you just have to say greater than 5. At the end, just say greater. So now, this is called writing a query. Now, what will happen is, if you execute this, it will give you a series of true and false.
Yeah.
Now, what this means is,
I have to put this on a list so
no,
that I can get the actual value.
No, you have to now pass this inside again the data frame. So basically, what happens is, now I'll just explain, because this is a slightly tricky process. If you run a query on any column or columns, it will give you a series of true and false for all the rows that this query applies to. So it is applying the query for every row. So here you are not seeing it, but there will be a true also, right? So for example, if you say greater than 4.9, just try that instead. So you want the best apps only. So you see, here you will see some truths. So for example, 10837 is true. And there are several false. Right? So basically what it does, it gives you a series with false for all those rows in which this query is false and true for all those rows in which this query is true. Right? Now, how to get the actual rows? If you pass this as an argument to the data frame, so basically you just say new df and open square brackets and you copy paste this, a square bracket, and you copy paste this query and try it again. Now you see it gives you those actual rows for which this query is true. So now instead of 4.9, if you make it 5.0.
If I want to extract only the app name, not all the fields, then what should I do?
Yeah, just try this. So now, for example, at the end, exactly. So at the end of it, you have to now extract the column. So again, at the end, very end of that query, put a square bracket and just put app.
Yeah.
So this is the value. So this is what it is. So now if you see, the question is, now you want to drop this, right? So if it is 5.0, you want to drop it.
Yeah.
So now for that, what happens is, there is another command. If you just do, you can delete the app, that last part.
Okay. Should I do this like delete?
No. Just remove that last app thing, the app in the last.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Now you can put a dot and then say drop. Now just do tab and see, it will complete.
No, tab isn't working.
Okay, just give it a maybe short while. Okay, so then open this thing, what do you call it? Open your open the parenthesis.
Sorry, I didn't get it.
Open the brackets.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean put drop and open the brackets and see. So basically drop is a function. So otherwise another option is you can...
Drop is a function.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically if this doesn't work, what you can do is you can just try shift tab.
Okay. It is working. Need to set this one.
No. Actually that's the thing. So try to do shift tab and see.
Yeah, okay.
So now if you see shift tab, you'll see here. Now it says labels, access, index, and all these. So now what you can do is, if you look, you can expand. If you expand and go down, there will be examples. Okay, see here. So it gives you examples of how you can drop. For example, you can drop columns, you can drop. So for example, you can drop an entire column, or you can drop an index, right? So now how to drop this is, you say, you actually pass whatever is this as an index. So I'll tell you what this is. You can just actually leave that statement as it is, copy the whole thing and to another line. Now what we will do is, you can delete the last drop, that is the dot drop. Now here if you say dot index, you will see that this is the index of this particular row, right? Now when we want to drop anything from a data frame, you can either specify an access, which means the entire column, or you can specify an index, right? So here in this case, what we can say, we can now say to a new command, you can say new df dot drop, and then if you again do shift tab, you will get the what do you call it, the syntax. You see there is index is equal to none. So you can say index is equal to and copy that statement in 74. So basically you're passing index is equal to this particular parameter.
Okay, then should I copy the
no, copy the command in copy the command in line 74.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's always better to give the actual dynamic value.
Okay.
Now here again do shift tab again, and there is one problem.
Access problem.
No, the problem will be in place. It will not delete. It will not delete it inside the data frame itself. So if you see again, in place is false. So you can say in place is equal to true, and it will delete it. So now what you can do, if you can go up, you will see, if you go up and copy that previous command, head 10, and check, you should not now get that first one, that is, you try X. Actually you will have to bring in something else, because it's only app, that's why.
Yeah. We have to, I think, we can do this.
Yeah. So the first one is gone now.
Yeah, now it's gone.
Yeah. So in the same way, you can also check if there's anything less than 0.0.
Okay.
It's always good to check these boundary conditions. and just cast it to the actual data frame so that you know if there's an actual row. Oh no, you have to do new data frame. Again, that is the query. So what you did before was right.
Yeah.
And you will have to remove the double thing. And again, that will be a square bracket. So new df, instead of equal to, you put a square bracket. Yeah. So it is empty. So this shows that there is nothing less than 0.0. So now you have at least cleaned up your app. At least now you.
We actually did this. We check all the NaN values to 0.0. Maybe that's why it's showing this.
Oh no, that's okay. But sometimes, because like I said, any data can always be possible. Somebody could have put a -10 also. No? So therefore, it is always best that you clean up these values that you know are wrong.
Okay.
So now that we have this, we can now do your bar chart.
Yeah. I just you'll see bar.
You can always do Shift Tab.
Oh, sorry. There is no Y actually. I didn't made any Y.
No, you can do Shift Tab to know what is there, and that will give you an idea of what it is.
Yeah. I didn't specify any Y data. So here is the problem. I wanted to do this for the rating column. Maybe now.
Also, always check the syntax always.
Yeah.
So X and height. So you see here, there is no Y. So the second one is a positional argument. Okay. So here you're okay because X is still the app name and Y is the height. So just try to execute. You should work. No, can you check on? Go up a little. No, can you go up a little? Unhashable array. Oh, okay. Here what has happened is because you have to again extract out of X, because now see X and Y both are data frames. It is expecting either an array or it is expecting a series, right? So in X you must extract out the app column, and in Y you must extract out the rating column. Because see, it's like this, the plot command, the bar command expects X to be either a new NumPy array or it can also be a series, because it must have a single value. A data frame has multiple columns. So now it is getting confused, right? Because it is seeing multiple columns. It does not know what to plot. So you must specify exactly that you want to plot the app column as X. So in X, you can specify in square brackets app. No, in the plot command itself, you can do. No need to here. That can remain as it is.
Okay. I don't know how to do this actually.
No, X, basically it's like this. X is a data frame that has app as a column and has a separate index. So all you have to do, X, you have to put square brackets and say app.
Okay. After the X.
X, yeah.
Okay.
And after Y, you have to put again square bracket and put rating.
Rating.
And again, in string.
Sorry?
It is a string. Rating is because it is the name of a column.
Yes. yeah.
So here, to style it, you have to actually look into the documentation, because I think you can put those labels vertical and things like that. Those possibilities are there, but you have to look
Okay.
into the styling. This is a little complicated. You have to Google it. There will be some PyPlot, Matplotlib tutorial, and or you can just Google, say, how do you make the X ticks vertical or something like that. That'll help. Actually, they're called X label, so you can say X label as vertical.
Level.
Yeah, in Matplotlib. So, I think the last tab is that. Okay, so you see, no, okay, yeah, here also, okay. So you see, PLT, you can scroll down.
Yeah.
PLT.
These are on a particle.
Yeah, PLT.xticks. Yeah, so you just, okay, so just copy that and that entire line.
Okay. Oh, here.
Actually, best to add it there itself. When you plot, right, try to plot everything in one line. So you can press enter after 80 in the line 87 and you'll get another line.
Oh, so should I copy this to the previous one?
Yeah. Usually a plot, sometimes it does not, if you put it in separate lines, it does not take into account those changes. Okay, so now labels, you will have to put X app, because that is a label. Actually, yeah, okay, just do Shift Tab and see.
Yeah.
Ticks is equal to none. Can you open that Google link again? I just want to see what it is. Okay, so here you see Xticks is X, labels is something else. Okay, so in our case, labels will also have to be the same as X, because you want to name it also that, right? Yeah. Okay, so in Jupyter Notebook. Yeah, so you can copy in the Jupyter Notebook, you can copy X app labels. Basically, there is no such thing as labels.
Okay, so
no, I mean, go back to your Jupyter Notebook. If you go back to your Jupyter Notebook.
Okay, yeah.
So you see here, in our case, labels does not exist. There is no such thing as labels. So X app will be labels.
Okay.
Because what it means is that what it's saying is X ticks are those dashes which are there in the plot. So for example, if you look, if you zoom and look, right, you see there are dashes in the center of every bar on the x-axis. Those are called X ticks. So the first argument is the value of that X tick. The second argument is what you want to label it. In our case, both of them are the same.
Yeah.
So therefore, you have to copy X app and paste it in labels. There is no labels. So first two arguments are the same.
So do we need to change the first argument?
No, only the second, the plt.xticks. So if you see that, yeah, just delete X labels.
Okay.
Delete the labels, yeah, not X labels, just delete this.
Labels?
Yeah, no, this first one is okay.
Okay.
The second one, labels, can delete it. And put this also as X app. So there is this, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can, before this PLT, to get a bigger plot, you go before the plot size, before the first plot plt.bar, you can put another command before that. So you press enter and put plt.figure. So basically what you're saying is create another figure, and in brackets say fixed size. So you see fixed size, see the third argument, fixed size is equal to, and in brackets specify a length and height. So like in brackets, this is in inches. So first one is length, second one is height. So you can say 8 by 8 or something. 20 will be very big. So that will be very big, but try it out. Yeah, it's very big. So
Yeah, it's a big one, so I need to have it short. Maybe 12 or
yeah,
8.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So just a question to anyone else. Would anyone else like to do something? Yeah, yeah.
So that's the reason I cannot really work on it. Maybe from the next time I'll try to use it. Log in from the laptop so that I can.
Yeah, sure, no problem. So just to sort of, I'll just sort of ask a few questions. So first thing is, since we are here, can you show me the head of the data frame, the original data frame?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see here is we have these 13 columns, right? And we have a few of them which have, we definitely know they are, what do you call it, quant data. For example, rating we know is quantitative data because they're numbers. Then there is something else which is size. You see, size is 19M, right?
Yeah.
Now, what it means is it's 19 megabytes, right? Because it's the size of the app downloader. Then the next one is free. So what I would say is, it will be interesting to know which of these are actual quant data and which of these are totally, totally categorical data. So for example, let's look at the size. So if you look at df and just put size in brackets, so if you say here, now you see these are all the values. Now let's say, for example, you say dot unique. There will be an equal amount of numbers, right? Because really speaking, there are many. Now what is interesting to note is, you see there are a few which are in megabytes, many are in megabytes, and a few are in kilobytes, right?
Yeah.
Now a question you might want to ask is, if that is the case, can we safely drop that last string and just have a number? Or can we convert everything to a number? Let's say, for example, we use the k as the lowest, we express everything in terms of kilobytes. So for example, 19 megabytes can be expressed as 19 into 1024 kilobytes, because that is what it is. 1 megabyte is 1024 kilobytes, and we can drop the last string. So here I would like to just open it up for everyone. Can anyone think of how you would like to go about it? Just a challenge. What I'm trying to say is, we have this one column which is a string. You see, all of them are strings, right? But this is the size of the app. And honestly, there is no reason for the size of the app to be a string. It should be a number. It can be a number, right? Now, they have, this is the problem with sometimes with data. For example, if you look in the middle, there is something called varies with device, right? It is, I think, in the fourth column. Now, there are some outliers in which you may not have it. And this is the case with data science in general. There is some bad data. There are most data which conform. We have to clean it. So, my challenge to people is, can we convert this string to a number? And how would you suggest? My suggestion is, we express all of them as kilobytes. So, if it is already in kilobytes, it is just converted to a number. If it is in megabytes, we multiply it by 1024 and express it as kilobytes.
Hello.
So, would anybody like to throw in their ideas? I don't want to just immediately give the answer, but would anybody like to try it out?
So, I mean, one way could be just go up to, I mean, like, take a string analysis and look for M, and once you reach M, you do the string to number conversion of that string up to whatever you have got until you reach M. So once you reach M or K, whatever, you can reach either K or M. Then if it was M, then multiply it by 1000 perhaps.
Yeah.
If it was K, just use the same number.
Sure. Okay. So, would anyone like to do this? I just want to know, is anyone interested in this? I don't want to force you all to do something.
I can try.
Okay, no, let's all come down. So before, what I would say is, let's start writing this. What we're going to do is, we are going to apply a function, right? That's what we're going to do. So we're going to write our own custom function and we're going to apply it. So we define a function. Let's call it, what do you want to call it? Convert memory, something like that. So, okay. And here we have to pass an argument always. So the argument will be x, usually x, or you can call it anything else. You can even call it size, anything. So you have to pass it, now here, x has to be in brackets because it is the argument of a function. Alright. So first thing let us do, let's just print out x. This is the best thing, this is the best way I like to start. Just print x. Now, in the next one, below, another cell, in another cell, you can start another cell.
Yeah.
Here what we can do, we can say the same thing, df, and before, what is the name of the column? No, df. So we are talking the data frame.
Df, yeah.
And what is the size? It was the size, right? The column size.
Yeah, size.
So again, in brackets, size. And you can then say apply. And the function name. So you see, it has printed it out. So at least we have now passed the function. Very good. So you can just comment it out because unnecessarily it will just go. So if you go and just comment that line and press it again. So at least that thing will go. Because unnecessarily it will clutter up your screen. So the next step, now that we have this, the next thing which I would do is, we now have a string, right? So the first thing is, how do you extract? How do you find out if the last element of the string is K or M? Okay, so before that, the first thing we need to do, and this is the first thing, is that there are two possibilities. One is that it is actual size and the last is M or K, right? The second possibility, it is bad data, right? So it is something like varies with device, or it is some other string which no. So right. So the question is, first thing, let us assume it is a number and let us say what is it. So is it, how will you extract the last element of a string? Can anyone suggest?
can we split the string?
We can split the string, but when you split the string, it is important to understand you must have a delimiter. So for example, you can just do just a test. You can just say test1 and give a string, say hello world.
Okay, then, should I print hello world?
You can try, I mean, you can just give it an actual variable. So you can say test1 is equal to hello world.
Okay.
Okay. And if you enter the next one, you have to execute it. And then the next one, if you say test1.split, then it gives you the two parts. Here the delimiter is automatically the space. Now if instead, in test1 you put hello and put a comma in above the test1 string, just instead of
should I?
Yeah. So here what you can do, first what I can suggest, in line 97, the hello world string.
Yeah, this line.
Yeah. After hello, put a comma.
Okay.
And put a space.
Okay, here.
Both of them. So now in the split, if you put in string a comma, now you're specifying that the delimiter should be a comma. So try that out.
Should I use this separator?
You can, but you don't have to. You can automatically just say, you can just put a string and that's good enough. String, no, you have to put, in string you have to put comma.
Oh, okay. Right.
So you see, now it has separated. No, something is wrong. I think it has not been executed. 97 has not been executed. You have to, because the number has not changed. Line number. You have to do shift enter.
Okay, so.
No, you have to always do shift enter to execute it again. Yeah. Then try it again. So now it has split it on the basis of the comma. So one way is to do that. Now the other way is, supposing you say test1 and in brackets -1.
Okay, then it will get the last element of this string.
Exactly. So you see, we can use this strategy to find out if the last element is a K or an M.
Yeah.
So in the 94 where the function is, we can now start trying that out. What we can do here, we can just delete that print x. Now here what you can say, you can try this out. So how will you do? You have to say an if statement. You have to say if one condition, which is if the last element is equal to K. So I would say try it out. No, there's no df now. It's only argument x. Yeah.
K or M?
No, well, you have to do both. So that's the thing. First say K.
Okay.
It's a colon. No, you have to put colon, because what happens now is that it is a new block. So now what we are going to say is, if it is equal to K, we will take everything else before that, right? And we will convert that to an integer.
Okay.
So what I would say is this. How do you convert? Now let's say you can again come down and I'll show you. Do another one, test2 is equal to an in string, test2 and in string put, let's say 5. So test2 is a string, but it is it has 5 as the value. What happened? Something wrong?
I think her connection is got stuck.
Oh, I think, yeah, we lost her.
Yeah.
Well, let's give her maybe a minute to see if she comes back.
Yeah.
Yes, she's back. Ah, yeah. So we lost you for a minute.
I lost the connection.
That's okay.
Is the still the screen is okay?
No, you have to share your screen again.
Okay.
Everybody.
Okay. Then I will share it again. Yeah, now it's okay.
Yeah. So test2 would be basically is equal to a string, but inside the string put some number.
So
Anything is equal to 100, is equal to something, but just put it in a string.
okay, any string.
Yeah. No, not string. You have to put a number. So it's like 100 or 200
okay.
or something.
Yeah. Okay, 120.
Okay. So now to convert this, you can just say int. So if I say int and in parentheses, you open brackets and put test2, this will convert it.
Yeah.
So this method we can use above, right? Now,
Yes.
do you know about array slicing? So for example,
I did it for once.
Yeah.
I need your help.
So let us say in test1, we want to remove the last exclamation mark, right?
Okay.
So how will you do that? So if you say test1, again, if in test1, so if you open a bracket, if you put one value here, it will give you that character. So if you put, let's say 0, it will give you that character. So it will give you H. It will give you 0, right? Now, instead you can put a colon. So if you delete it and you put a colon, no, delete the 0 also. It will give you the entire string back, because what it means is 0 means it says start, stop and step. Okay. Now, start is optional, stop is also optional, step is also optional. If start is not specified, it is 0. So if you enter now, you'll get the whole string back, because start is the 0, stop is the last one, and step is 1, right? Now, supposing you say instead of colon, you leave the first, there is nothing before the colon, but at the end you put -1, or you put 4, let's say put 4. Instead of -1, put 4.
Okay.
So you see, it is giving you 0, exactly. It will give you the fourth one, but remember, it will give you 0, 1, 2, 3. It will not give you the fourth index. Always it will stop before that. So if you put -1 instead,
it will remove the last character.
It will remove the last character. So this is what we will use in the function.
Okay.
So if x minus 1 is equal to k, what you have to say is return integer of and in that you can say exactly, and then close the parentheses. Now the next case is, here what you have to say, again you have to put a bracket. Why? Because no, I mean not bracket, you have to again put an if. So what happens is, you can go to another line, and at the same indentation as the if, you have to say elif. So elif.
I go with the if.
Yeah.
Okay, ill.
Yeah. So what you have to say is else if. So there is no else if. What you have to say in Python, there is a simple thing that is called else, elif. There is a short form.
Okay.
And here we are checking if x minus 1 is equal to m.
M.
Now, I think go up and check. I think it is capital M.
It's a.
Right. Now, here what we are going to do. Here we are going to.
Just one thing.
Yeah.
Perhaps maybe in K it's fine, but for M I think we'll probably have to go for float, not int.
I don't think so. I think no. Yeah, like you said, maybe you have to go in for a long int. Okay, what I think the problem here is, it's like this. If you have a very large number like 1000 m, right, then you're multiplying 1000 by 1024. Okay, first let us try. Basically, return of basically.
So my suggestion, it's not about K, but for M, there are variables which have 2.5 m kind of. So.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
can you go? Can you scroll up?
2.5 m, 2.5 megabytes and things like that.
Okay.
That would mean that you will, if you use just int, it will work.
Okay. Then you have to do float. Then you're right. So then instead of int, we have to go for float in both cases.
Yeah, first case I think it is fine. I don't see any K where it is.
No, the reason why I say is we would like to keep our numbers consistent in the.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay. So return 1024. Yeah. Okay. Now the last one, if neither of these are there, so that is another else. There is an else statement. Here we return 0. Again, you have to put a colon after the else. 0 or 0.0, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So here you see, in some cases, if neither it is not K or M, then we are going to return 0. Right? So in cases like varies with device, we are returning 0. In other cases, we will calculate. So let us try this. So first you have to execute the function, and then you can execute 96 again.
Apply method.
Yeah. So interesting. So you see, we have managed to calculate, and there will be some cases where it is 0.0, right? Yeah. So you can now create another column and specify this as another thing like new size or something like that. So the equal to, you can just say, so you just have to say df. Exactly. Or any name that you want.
Is it like this?
Yeah. Okay. And just check out the data field.
DF. There is a new column here.
So you see, we have managed to convert that size. So we have now one more numeric data, which is always good. More numeric data means more analysis you can do. Okay, so I think we are almost out of time now. So anyone has any doubts, I'll be happy to answer, or any other comments. Otherwise, we should probably wind up.
Yes, sir, can I speak now?
Yeah, go ahead, please. You are always welcome to speak.
I am Harish, sir. So in between, I missed few classes. Now, my doubt is here. Suppose in the strings which you are saying, suppose if you are not encountering with K or M, sometimes if we say we have some string system that is ending with M, maybe there are some cases where string can end with M. So in that case, then is there some error will come, or should we address that issue? So have you understood my question, sir?
No, not really.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
now,
I understand.
Ah.
I understood. So instead of Shiva, just in case, instead of M that we are looking for, instead of varies with device, it could be varies with device M.
Okay, that way. Okay.
Is it right?
suppose example, now we have 150K and 250M. Suppose if the string is, in some cases, system is there, system in caps, so that is ending with M at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, should we need to solve that, or when we convert into integer of these remaining system, suppose system is the string
Mm-hmm.
and last letter is M,
Mm-hmm.
and remaining remaining 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 letters are there, right?
Mm-hmm.
S, Y,
Yeah.
S, T.
Now I understand. So basically we have to put another catch. So what I will tell you is, so you just in the same thing like test 2, supposing you take that test 2. Now here it is 120, right? If to 120, let's add another character. Let's put A. Right? Now try to run it the same thing again, that is integer. You will get an error.
Yeah.
Right? So what we have to do is we have to catch this error. So there is a way. What we have to do is we have to do what is called as a try, catch, except.
Try catch.
Right? So if we have to first try, that is we have to put a try block. So you can just try it below. I'll just so we just start a new block.
Alright. Here or a new block?
You can just there itself. Okay. So before test 2, you have to put above, put a try and put colon. So now what it means is we are going to try the next set of statements. We don't know if it will work. It may work, may not work. So test 2 will have to be indented because it is in a block.
Okay.
Now after that, what we have to do is just again here, let me just quickly Google. I forgot, since I'm using several programming languages. Python, is it try or is it catch? Errors and exceptions. Yeah, it is try except. So after try, you put an except, EXCEPT.
Sorry,
EXCEPT.
sorry, I
CEPT.
didn't get that.
No, EXCEPT. I'll just put it in this one.
Okay,
I'll just
okay.
accept. Yeah, accept. So like,
Accept.
okay. So what we have to do is,
Colon.
yeah, colon. Now here what we have to say is test 2, and after the test 2, put an int test 2. So in above itself, in the try block itself, move this to the try block.
A try block.
Yeah, this should be in the try block itself. Basically what we are doing is we are trying this statement. It may not work.
Okay.
And then if it doesn't work, so if it is except means it is thrown an exception. So there is an error, right? So then what you should do, you should say print, let's say 0.
Print
0. Basically what you're saying is if there is an exception,
okay. Error, yeah.
Error or 0 or not given anything, okay. Here you put else, ELSE.
Else.
Yeah. So here it means there is no error. Then again colon. And here you say print int test2.
Okay.
Now execute this block and see. So you get error. Now remove the A and you see above, remove the A in test2, and now you get 120. So this is what we have to include when we are, before we do an int check. That's all.
Here, right?
Yeah.
So before the else one, we need to add this try if it block.
Exactly. And we have to do this for both the cases. So basically what we can do, there is actually now, since we are doing this, you can actually create another function and put this in that function. So put the entire catch block, because we are using it twice, right? We are using it once for k, we are using it once for m.
Oh, then I have to write another function.
Exactly. So you can say, yeah, check is also okay. And here you can.
Then do I need to do this thing?
Oh no, just say float. Just say float x. Okay, and come down. And here in accept,
Okay.
you just say return 0, which means it is illegal. And otherwise else, you just say return float x. You have to return it here. You have to actually return, physically return.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, great. So now instead of directly returning float x above, you can call this function.
Okay.
That is, remove the float. Yeah, you just have to remove the float. Everything else can remain the same. Only instead the float command, you put check.
This one?
No. You see, in 118, the convert memory, you're using return float,
Yeah.
right? Now, instead of returning, instead of putting float, you put check.
Okay, the check. Okay.
Yeah.
This one.
Exactly. No, there is a mistake. There is a T. No, there is a G. You see, there is a T, I think.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
There is I did a mistake.
That's okay. Yeah. So this will take care of that one case. Okay, so I guess I think we should end because it will be late already in India.
It's late in Bangladesh as well. It's 11:12 p.m. So.
Yeah, I think you might be half an hour before us, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think someone wanted to ask want to have a discussion towards the end.
I think that person has dropped off because he was joining in a mobile. I don't see him anymore.
Okay.
Well, I guess maybe next time he can join.
Yeah.
Alright, so it was an interesting session. We tried another totally different example. It was very nice. So I would encourage all of you to bring in your own cases like this. This is always the best.
Sir, do we have the previous session videos anywhere?
Oh yeah, sure.
Like it goes through it?
Yeah, sure. You just have to go to I'm just going to post the YouTube link here. Just give me 1 minute. So I'm just posting it in the chat. Right. So this is the older videos in this entire, and also some previous videos also even before this session, but I did when there was a COVID lockdown.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I guess if there's nothing else, see you next week.
Yeah. See you.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So always and check out if there's any other problem or any other data set that you want to have a look at.
Okay.
Okay.
I had
Okay.
something.
Okay.
See you next.
And also we can also continue. I think there are a few other interesting things we can do with this Google Play also. So sure. All right. See everyone next week. Bye bye.
Okay.